Got it.
Got it.
Oh, excuse me.
What's up, everybody? Hello, friends. Welcome to Pod and Long. I'm your host, Ryan. It's great to have you with us. You're looking live on a man who's still bearing under 6 feet of snow. It's 77 inches of Megastar Mark.
Woo!
Oh,
Man,
wow.
that's a lot of
Woo,
inches right
That's
there.
at least
That's a lot of
70 inches more
inches.
than I would have guessed.
Never associated with that much
70
inches.
more. You gave him a solid 7,
Yeah,
though.
I'm about to say,
He
I
doesn't
feel like
have-
that's
yeah,
pretty
nice.
Good, bro.
Shout out to
Alright.
you.
I
I'm going
avoided
to
the
assume
Irish.
all my friends deserve a high five until they prove me wrong.
I avoided the Irish curse. I'm all right with that. So,
The Irish curse.
Irish curse.
20% more pain. Horrible
Guilt.
red hair.
Guilt and tiny penises.
Something
Uh,
else.
That is also our friend. He is the coach of the Men Titans, the man who
Yeah.
bets on Ambien better than in real life. It's Killagreg17. Welcome.
Yeah, that actually I have proof of that
right?
this week.
I have stats to go with it.
Literally-
I have stats, yeah.
Yeah. I look forward to the segment basically when the lines come out, I scan over them real quick. 'Cause I'm like, let me get in the mind of Greg.
Yeah.
What's he gonna do? What's
Well,
he gonna like take a chance
It's
on?
not
this time?
that hard
Yeah.
because I definitely have favorites.
I'm very anxious to see what you say because there's some weird lines this week.
Yeah, we'll get there, obviously.
yeah,
But
yeah.
this week,
Mhm.
more than any other week, there was probably 10 games that I was like,
Mhm.
oh, I could do this one.
Right. Real weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's crack along. Let's go.
All right.
Crack-a-lack.
We're going to have Greg's bets. We're going to have football.
We're done.
Foobar. We're going to have our categories, but we're going to start with something a little different.
Ooh.
I want to know your favorite Thanksgiving football memories. That could in the games.
Yeah.
Favorite games you've watched over Thanksgiving, moments in the Thanksgiving game. I mean, it could be a personal story, but
Mm-hmm.
what's your favorite? Because I love Thanksgiving football, so I wrote a list of at least like 12 things. So,
Yeah. Wow.
what's your favorite Thanksgiving football memory as we
This
go
is
into
tough
the
for me.
Thanksgiving week?
I'm probably not going to have one.
Okay,
But
that's all right.
But the big thing is like my family was never a sports family. So like most of my Thanksgiving football memories are literally me sitting alone on a couch watching football
Mm-hmm.
or begging someone to turn on the television so that I could watch football. So there's not a lot of memories for it because it's always just me alone, which is fine.
Okay, that's
Honestly,
sad. That's sad.
not for me. I really
Oh.
like being alone.
Yeah. I feel like if somebody sat next to you that you didn't want to have sit next to you, you would just glare at them for like
Yeah.
just 2 hours until they got up and left.
What if Ryan Tannehill came and sat
Oh
next
my
to you?
God. No, he
during
would have
Thanksgiving?
words for Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, right. Come here, Ryan. Sit down on my lap. I actually, I need to find out. I was thinking about it this week after the Titans' performance.
Mm.
I'm curious if I can just make Travis Henry my my quarterback.
Derrick Henry?
Derrick Henry. I'm not Travis Henry. Boy, yeah.
You have to break him out of jail.
That guy's
He's in jail.
he's too
Yeah,
busy with all
he's
his
so-
other kids, right?
He
Doesn't
had
have,
a
like,
shit ton of
19
kids. That
kids?
didn't pay
I
child
knew
support
that.
at
You're
all.
right. He
And then
was
when-
the Titans running back and the Bills running back
You know,
from
yep.
2000. Yeah, Derrick Henry. I'm curious to look on Madden to see if I can just fire Tannehill
Yeah.
and just run the Wildcat.
Why not? I'm sure you can.
Right. I mean,
Try it.
he's 2 for 8 of my games. There's no way Derrick Henry can be worse than that. And in real life, we know for a fact he's not worse
Yep.
than that.
We know for a fact you can throw. We're going to talk about it in a
Right.
second.
Mhm.
All right, Thanksgiving. Any Thanksgiving memories? None for Greg. He sat alone on his couch.
Honestly,
any Game memories.
we used to go over to my grandmother's house for Thanksgiving before, various other people hosted. And I remember she wasn't like, I was into football. My mom was into football, but that was kind of it for that side of the family.
Mm.
So my grandmother had like literally maybe a 20-inch TV in the living room, maybe a 20-inch TV. And I remember distinctly, it was one of the games where Barry Sanders went off on one when he was actually playing and actually cared. He just dismantled this. I forgot even who they were playing, but I distinctly remember sitting at in a swivelly chair watching Barry Sanders just dance through defenders. So very vivid memory there. And then recently, the Bills hadn't been in prime time for so long because they were such dog shit. And then they finally got on the Thanksgiving game, and that was their only primetime game of the year. And it was Josh Allen's second year. And there was that play where he goes for a first down, but he fumbles. but he picks the fumble back up himself and just bowls over 3 Cowboys for a first down. And I'm like, all right, motherfucker, I think we got something here because that's pretty impressive. So very vivid memory there too. Bills are in Thanksgiving a lot now.
They're on this. They're on this.
They're
year.
on this one too. Yeah, right.
Bills are like a real Thanksgiving team to me.
Mm-hmm.
To me, Thanksgiving is like a low to high tier holiday.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's no Christmas. It's like one low below her.
That's definitely
That's how
the
I feel
Bills.
about the Bills.
Yeah, right.
The Bills are the Thanksgiving
Right,
of football teams.
Like
But they make you feel cozy, you know.
Yes.
All right. All right.
I am actively annoyed that the Bills are getting a new stadium.
Do
Oh
they
yeah.
need- Yeah.
There is this thing in the NFL where I feel like there's 3 echelons of teams, and the Bills are firmly in the middle.
Yep.
And I feel like this will elevate them, and I don't want them elevated. I like that they're still a little hometowny.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because we've all been to the Bills Stadium, and that stadium is built for football, and that's it. That's the only thing you're ever going to do in that stadium. You're not going to put a concert in there. You're not going to get a convention in there. It is just for football. Every seat is good. There's not a single seat that's bad in that entire stadium. It's open air. The fucking concourse is just concrete. Plenty of places to throw up or spill your beer. The bathrooms are a trough. We've already talked about that.
Yeah. Petroff.
Yep, just very simple stadium. And now I saw the designs of the new one, and it's gonna be very fancy.
It's gonna be the nicest thing in Buffalo.
Right.
Might be.
There's still a Wegmans. God.
Super Wegmans. Okay, I wrote down a few game memories. My grandfather, big football fan. I used to watch with him. He would make bets, and then I would ask him about those bets, and he would be upset about those bets. Then we picked the games together for a while, and then he would be like, "Really, you're gonna pick that? Okay." All right, Randy Moss. Against the Vikings, or against the Cowboys, who did not draft him, catching 3 passes for like 200 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Mhm.
That was fun. The time the Steelers messed up the coin toss.
Oh yeah,
Remember that one?
Yeah.
Jerome Bettis.
I forgot that was the
Catching
Thanksgiving
tails.
game. Yeah,
That was a Thanksgiving game.
Yeah.
I guess it was the refs that messed it up. I don't know.
I don't know. I think Jerome fucked that up. Legend has made it into the refs, but I think Jerome screwed it up.
Yeah, it might have been Jerome's fault. The Panthers demolishing the Cowboys in 2015. 2 pick sixes off of Tony Romo. That was a personal fave for me.
Poor Tony.
Turducken. Shout out to Turducken.
Yeah. I guess this Thanksgiving is a John Madden tribute, from what I hear.
Yes.
That's great. I love that he just made up a food.
Mm-hmm.
Fat guy power. I'm just gonna just put all the foods together. And then he would hand out the 8 legs to the 8 people he liked. You see, Brett Favre, he's gonna have a leg of chicken, and
Probably show his dick and take some money, but
oh,
whatever.
whoops.
With the Oprah of chickens.
The Oprah of chicken.
Oprah showed her dick a lot.
We're talking about Madden. He didn't show his dick to anybody, as
don't
far
know
as we
that.
know. As far as we know.
Mrs. Madden probably.
Oh, okay. One person.
No, they used the Mormon sheet.
Yeah, right.
No.
Good job, John.
That shouldn't go into multiple podcasts. That's too much. The butt
It's
fumble.
prevalent.
The butt fumble happened.
That
on
was Thanksgiving?
Yes, the butt fumble happened.
Oh,
Thanksgiving night.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Peyton Manning throwing for 7 touchdowns against the Lions, wearing the very ugly Colts uniforms that were just pure white.
Oh
2 horseshoes on the back of his helmet.
Right.
The ugliest uniforms ever. And also I wrote down this, like you said, Mark, getting to watch Barry Sanders for a
Oh my
full
God.
game, because especially in this area, you weren't seeing Barry Sanders unless he was playing the Jets or
Yep.
the Giants. You really weren't seeing a lot of Barry Sanders. You'd see those highlights, on ESPN, but you weren't seeing a full game of how impressive this guy was. So
He was amazing.
for a while, getting to watch Barry Sanders on Thanksgiving, and the Lions screwing it up continuously.
Yeah, right. And then it went to Calvin Johnson every Thanksgiving. And then the
Yes,
Lions
so
screwing it up.
continually screwing it up. All right. Let's move on to this past week and talk about our categories. New category.
Ooh.
We're getting close here. We're inching closer to the end.
Playoff.
Regular season. So this is huge playoff boosting wins. The Bengals outlast baby hands
Yeah.
in a win they desperately needed
Yeah.
to remain 6-4, to move up to 6-4, to knock out the Steelers, basically.
Yeah.
Baby hands was better in
Yep.
this game, but still not great. Najee Harris did a lot of the damage, I think, for the Steelers, but they were able to outlast the Steelers team and get that much needed win, because they lost that shit game against the Steelers where they missed all the field goals because they had no long snapper.
Right.
They desperately needed to win this one. So Bengals outlast baby hands. You're starting to get sweet on the Bengals a little bit here.
I don't know.
They're starting to find their rhythm.
I texted you guys and I said the Bengals are just maddening. Like they should have. This game should have been over at halftime.
Oh shit! Sorry, I muted you, Mark. Sorry, I meant to mute myself.
Nobody can stop me. How dare you, sir? My voice can never be silenced. No, I mean, seriously, the Bengals should have had this game over by halftime. And the fact that they struggled so much with a team that's pretty much out of, very out of it.
Very out of it.
They're just so, we'll get to another team later, but they're just so like inconsistent. It's hard for me to buy into this.
Yeah. Let's see here.
They have the weapons, especially when Jamar Chase comes back.
Right. And I know that Jamar Chase isn't playing, but I get it. But, you know, they're just middling without, you know, like I said, like you shouldn't have this much trouble getting rid of baby hands.
That's true. Good point.
Yeah, I think the Bengals are gonna get better. They're a weird team. They lost to the Steelers, they lost to Dallas, and they lost to Baltimore and Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
All divisional. So, you know, those aren't important.
So they really needed this one.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, they needed this one. I think they're figuring it out. Their defense might not be very good, but their offense is really clicking. You know, for Mixon to go for 5 touchdowns and then P. Ryan to go for 3.
P. Ryan.
Like, Mixon's a good player. He's like a B- running back, I would say. So like that makes a little bit of sense, but I think they have a lot of weapons. I think Joe Burrow is not getting sacked nearly as much as he was, which is important. And they're missing their best player by a lot. I mean, you know, Jamar Chase is the best player on almost any field he steps on.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this was tight, but they still scored points when they needed to. They're missing their best player. They're finding wins where they need them. Whoever's, you know, the fact that just anybody can go off is, I think, indicative of a good offense. Like they're not counting on Jefferson to make insane plays every fucking time. They're not counting on Cooper Kupp, the only player on the field. The old 9 linemen and Cooper Kupp maneuver.
No, you're right though, Greg. Like Joe Burrow definitely looks more comfortable lately than he had even without his best player. I think he's looked a little bit more comfortable back there. Plus, you know, offensive line, they brought in good players in the offseason, but anybody will tell you offensive lines need time to gel. That out of any position, they need time to work with each other. And even if you have 5 all pros and they've ever played with each other, it's going to take them some time. And I feel like it's finally coming together for them.
Coming together at the right time.
Yep.
Oh.
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
Joe Burrow's been sacked 32 times this year.
32 times. Jesus. All right.
I expect it to be like 18.
Huge playoff boosting win for the Chiefs, taking out the Chargers.
Yeah.
Close game, but Mahomes is starting to tread into like Brady territory where it's like, oh, there's 30 seconds left.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Mahomes is going to score. Whatever's going to, you know, whatever needs to happen, Mahomes is going to make it happen. Fuck. I'm like, he is in that category now.
I'm going to give the Chargers some credit.
They
Brandon
played
Staley did not lose this
better.
game for them. So
They
that's
played better.
We're moving in the right direction there. The Chiefs are just, I've said it before, they're a fucking buzzsaw. Like they are just taking teams apart left and right. If you look at the rest of their schedule, I think there's 7 games left.
Yeah. I think so.
Maybe 2 of them will give them trouble. Maybe. And even those 2 games, obviously, they have a good chance of winning them. They have a very favorable run for the rest of this. So I would say the Super Bowl runs through Kansas City again.
Probably.
Yeah, they look insane.
Yeah.
Legitimately, like they're not trying until they have to.
Yeah, right.
Like these last few games have looked, air quotes, close, but it's like when Kansas City wants to just close the door, they just do it.
Right.
They're not nervous. Like Mahomes is laughing on the sideline,
Yeah.
joking around with guys. They're losing the game, and he's like, "Ha whatever."
Like,
when I get
not
out there,
only
I'm
do
gonna
I
win.
think that he's confident enough to just not worry about it because he's been
Yeah.
doing this. I mean, yeah, Tom Brady is the best at it of all time, but Tom Brady's been playing for 60 years now. He like had to take those couple years off for World War II, but other than that, he's been, he's a statistical monster just in longevity.
Thank you, Tom, for your service. By
Thank
the
you
way,
for your service.
He stormed the beaches in Normandy, right?
Yeah.
And then he played football the next
Yeah.
Sunday.
and had a kale
He
shake.
was throwing bombs and Nam, just
Yeah.
like he is in Foxborough.
He's like Wolverine.
I'm gonna say he's like Wolverine. He just fights in every war.
Fights in every war. Every war, Wolverine.
Right.
Literally every. You couldn't take one off.
Yeah.
Anyway, so not only do I think that Pat Mahomes just knows that he can go down and win the game, but I also think he knows that it almost doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They're gonna win enough games to get into the playoffs. They're probably gonna win enough games to be a number 1 seed.
Yep.
So like, if they lose this one, okay,
Yeah.
well,
Well,
it sucks, but whatever.
Guess we'll just win the rest of them.
Yeah,
right.
right.
And like I
So-
said, look at their schedule. There's not a lot there that's gonna make you think that they're not gonna run the table.
Well, they get to play the AFC West, so
Right. So, yeah.
the dreaded AFC West.
How will he ever outthink Hackett?
the buzzsaw.
Oh man,
Ugh.
Hackett. All right, one more playoff boosting
How do you
win.
dare to be such shit with a name like Hackett? It's like you're just asking for trouble.
He's
There's
asking
a
for
kicker.
it.
What was the kicker named? Josh Blewett. I mean, that guy better literally better never miss the field goal in his life with that name.
Dicker the kicker. He's had a nice
Dicker,
little
yeah,
run
Dicker,
here for
yeah.
the Chargers. Dicker
Yeah.
the kicker, which boy, these broadcasters, it's not going to be in
Oh.
broadcasting moments, but they love Dicker the kicker. Boy, do they love it. They love talking about it. All right. Playoff boosting win. 49ers look real good in Mexico. They they had some of that sweet Mexican food,
my
and
God.
they went out and trounced these Cardinals.
I forgot that was in Mexico.
Yeah,
It was in
It looked-
Mexico.
it looked like a 49ers home game.
Yeah, right. It definitely did.
I'll tell you what, after my Kirk Cousins comments last week, people are going to get the wrong impression about me, which is fine. Jimmy Garoppolo,
That's
fucking
great.
good looking.
No, he's a handsome
Oh,
motherfucker. Yeah.
You're talking about the eyeliner thing.
Mm,
Garoppolo
No.
doesn't need eyeliner.
no,
No,
He's good.
no, the Lord blessed him with the eyes of a god.
right.
Why
Look,
is he so hot?
So
Just
good
not
looking.
fair.
straight blue steel every time?
So good looking. It's not fair.
Right.
Somebody
Andy's
pointed
good
out
at
on
sports.
Twitter that they had the audacity to show Jimmy Garoppolo and then Colt McCoy right afterwards.
Ah, poor Colt.
Poor
Right.
Colt.
Here's a close up of
Colt.
Opie.
Yeah.
So-
I wonder if Colt McCoy's married too.
oh God,
The job.
not Jimmy Garoppolo. He wishes.
Oh my
Jimmy
god.
Garoppolo is like, she's like a Victoria's Secret model or something, right?
Is she?
Yeah.
That would make sense.
He was dating
Somebody-
porn. Wasn't he dating a porn star for a while? And everybody was all upset. Like,
Oh, who cares?
really?
I
A
think it
porn
was
star?
like Instagram model.
Right.
Porn star.
That doesn't count.
It's fine. Good for you, Jimmy. Only 9 incompletions for that guy.
Oh, he was. Yeah. Honestly, I hate to say this, but I don't think so. Okay. Hypothetically, the Niners win a Super Bowl, or they make it to a Super Bowl, or they make it to an NFC Championship. Obviously, Garoppolo gets there, right? But the knock on Garoppolo has always been he can't close it out. So let's pretend he doesn't win a Super Bowl. So let's say he gets there and loses it again. Do the
Sure.
Niners re-sign him?
This is wild. This is
Right?
a wild question.
Or does he go to the Jets? He's a free agent. He can do whatever he wants. Like him and the Jets would actually be a pretty good fit, I think.
Didn't the 49ers say, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I have this memory of them saying, we're bringing Jimmy back
Yep.
as a backup
Yep.
only. He's not coming back after this. Didn't they say that? Like, this is a 1-year thing. He's out of here after this.
But I mean,
He's
he's
going to
pursue
pursue other options.
You know, I'm sorry. Like, I mean, if he gets him to the Super Bowl, they got to resign this guy. It's so
Wow. What a turnaround. What a turnaround. I always liked
Yeah.
Jimmy G. I think he's a good quarterback.
yeah, he is.
He's not great, but like with all these weapons, he should be good. He should be good enough to win a Super Bowl. This defense is great too. I know they played Colt McCoy here, so let's calm down a little bit.
But even before this, though, they've been very
Yeah.
good all year. So
they have been. All right. Those are the playoff boosting wins category. This is a little bit different this week. What? The Cowboys
yeah,
Wowzers.
obliterate the
Holy
Vikings.
shit.
Vikings are shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I've been saying it all year. The Vikings are terrible.
they got dismantled. I was
Like
my
the-
God.
Was it the first play of the game that was a sack fumble recovery by Micah Parsons?
Oh my God. The Cowboys defense is so good. I was talking about this today, though. So the Cowboys defense, outstanding, right? Their
Outstanding.
receiving group, outstanding. Offensive line, outstanding. Running backs, Ezekiel Elliott, Pollard, outstanding, right? I can't think of a quarterback, though, I trust less in the playoffs than Dak Prescott. And that is
Yeah.
always going to be in the back of my mind every time the Cowboys play.
Yeah.
I mean, mark my words. There was literally no chance the Cowboys can win a Super Bowl with Dak Prescott. It's impossible.
Wow.
Well,
Where's that bet?
Maybe he doesn't even need to do anything though with this defense and this running. Like, who?
that's their
Do you even
best
need
case
him?
scenario.
You don't even need him.
He's a healthy scratch.
Yeah, they kicked like 7 60-yard field goals in this game. They don't
Yeah,
need Dak.
right,
What do you
right.
What do you need Dak for?
I kind of like when a team does like death by a billion cuts like that. Like, I don't know.
They won
something-
40-3 with
Right.
6 field goals.
Something appealing about that when they
That's a bizarre game.
Yeah.
I don't know if this counts as cousin zone. Like, what is cousin zone? Is it a 17-point deficit? Where does it
10 points?
Where is it 10?
10 to 20 points is the
10 to
cousin zone.
20.
Right.
Once
Can't
it gets
escape it.
beyond that, it's over.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, oh
No.
yeah, right.
Because he was awful in this game.
Yep.
I mean, the entire Viking team.
You're in the
was awful
second
this game.
cousin zone once you get past 20 points.
That was a home game for them too. That's amazing
How
to me that
in
they
the
shit
world
the bed that bad.
Do you go out and hang tough and beat the Bills and play? I guess that's what it is, like a hangover here, right?
I
That's
don't
got to
know.
be it, right?
They had a lot of guys hurt in that game. Not to make it, not it's injuries are a
Right.
thing, but I mean, you shouldn't have dropped. You shouldn't have lost by 37 points at home the following
No.
week, even with no
No.
matter how many guys you got hurt.
No.
I know we joke about the cousin zone, but I'm looking at the scores here for their games. They
he
are
lives,
all super close.
Oh
He
yeah, all
lives
their
in the
wins
cousin
are
zone.
yeah, right.
but
Yeah.
we've talked about this.
I
They
mean,
have historically, Vikings have lost those games all the time.
4
in years
points, 3
All the
points, 5 points, 8 points, 8 points, 3 points, 3 points, and then this fucker of a blowout.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just, when it's so close, so consistently, you feel like it might just be luck.
Right. They could. I mean, think about it. They could easily be 2-7. I mean,
Right.
some of those
Right.
games,
Sure.
Right. I mean, they lost by 4. They won by 4 points against Detroit. So that
Yeah.
was like a late drive against one of
Right.
the worst defenses I've ever
But
seen.
still, they never pulled those out. So I give them credit for actually winning those games. Finally.
It's one of those ones where they'll coast into the play. Well, not coast, but they'll get into the playoffs. They should still win that division. I don't really think the Packers are going to come back on this.
unless like somebody wins out, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, and the Vikings
winning
have
it.
really got to shit the bed moving forward. They
Right.
got to Cardinals
Which-
collapse.
That's possible.
Oh, it is, I guess. There's still plenty of games left.
All right. So the cousin zone did not happen this week,
No.
but the Madden Titans, they came out.
Oh yeah, right.
They played the Greg offense.
Yeah.
Actually, Tannehill looked good. I thought the
He's a
weirdest thing
handsome
about
guy,
the
but
weirdest thing you Greg more handsome than Jimmy Garoppolo.
We should have
no,
a
there's not
no,
a person on the planet more handsome than Jimmy
we should
G.
rank the quarterbacks by handsomeness. I think
You want to
I would
make
do
a,
that.
a tier list on hot
Right.
quarterbacks?
right
Yeah.
hot boy quarterback.
I mean, if we're giving out awards for
Boys,
the end of the year,
hey!
number one come up, Andy
Yeah.
Dalton. Holy shit.
Oh,
Haircut. A haircut
glammed
can do a
himself
lot.
up.
Yeah, he looks
He's
like a
cool.
man who needs a new contract.
Oh boy.
Packers are shit.
Yeah.
They can't win football games.
It was
even against
bad.
The Titans.
It was bad. The Titans pretty much dominated this game.
Oh yeah, there was never a chance. There's never a part of this game where I thought the Titans were going to lose it.
Let's talk about. Well, first of all, Henry threw a pass for a touchdown,
Love
which is
it.
Greg's
Perfect.
wet dream.
Best
That's-
play of the year.
I must say that's everything
Greg's-
Greg wanted.
Greg's
Look at that
plans are
precision,
coming to fruition.
That loft right into
Yeah.
where his receiver was going to
Yes.
be. Oof.
Tannehill, we don't even
Move
need
over,
him.
Peyton. We
Say
got a new
Tannehill, by the
guy
way,
in
the
town.
next play throws it backwards.
Oh man. So the
Oh,
Titans
Tannehill
won.
did play pretty well.
He played
was
well
fine.
in this game.
Yeah.
Titans won, and the headline on ESPN the next day was Titans pull an upset. Was it really an upset?
Absolutely not. Are you kidding
No.
me? Titans were 6-3 going into that.
Packers stink.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
It's weird. It's weird. The sort of like, in my industry, we call
The
it price
pro-
memory.
Yeah,
Like,
the pro Aaron Rodgers.
Something was worth, $30 at one point. So when people could bring it into me and they want to sell it to me, they're like, "Well, I thought this was $30." Like, yeah, 7 years ago. Now it's
Right.
$1.50. The Packers are the price memory of football.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks they're good, and they think people want to see them, but people don't want to see bad football. They don't want to see old man Rodgers moping around.
Yeah, right. Every
Yeah.
time they lose,
Making
though, man,
writing a blog during the game.
fucking love seeing Poochie upset. Like it makes my week to see that man
Poochie's-
miserable. Yeah,
He's now part of the Poochie Club.
he's definitely part of him.
Oh, he is.
Him and Brady are in the
yeah,
Poochie
right,
Club?
are the
Oh, for
Poochies.
sure.
Yeah. In fact, what upset me was when that game happened, he didn't say, like when he's lost before, he's like, "Oh, my arm hurt, and that was the reason we lost," or never took accountability, but always still managed to make the game about him. So we're
Sure.
always talking about fucking Poochie after this.
Yes,
I love that he was just so beaten down. He didn't even try this time. It's like, I'm gonna go read my Oprah book.
What's he
Million little
reading?
pieces.
What's he reading these days?
Oh, that's true. He
I don't
finished the
know.
Fountainhead.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Well, he finished skimming it.
Yeah, right. It's a
He moved
long
on to the
book.
Cliff
Spark
notes.
notes.
Cliff
Yeah,
notes.
right. It's a very long book.
Cliff
Yeah.
notes. Titans win. Congratulations to you, Greg. Mediocrity loves company, or kick returners are back. The Falcons beat the Bears.
Yeah.
Ex-girlfriend comes out. They get a kick return for a touchdown, which is like seeing a fucking lunar eclipse.
Right.
It was the first one of the year.
I can't even remember the last time I saw one. I seen punt returns, but never kickoff returns.
That was record
Yeah.
setting. That was his
Yeah.
ninth, the most of all
His
time.
ninth ever, the most of all
Wow.
time.
Wow.
Cordero Patterson has the most kickoff returns for a touchdown,
Man.
which made me sad a little bit
Me too.
Yeah.
because I remember so many kick returners. Like, who's your favorite
Dante
kick returner?
Hall.
Dante
Hall's the one that
Hall.
Oh,
sticks
God.
out with
Remember
me.
that
Devin
guy?
Hester.
Devin Hester.
Devin
was great.
Hester for sure. But to me, it was
Zahir
always
Hakeem.
Dante Hall.
He
Watching
was always
his
great, too.
highlights. Because he didn't just run at him and find a hole.
Yeah.
He was all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loved it.
There's so many great kick returners. That was their only job. Josh Cribbs.
Yeah,
The
Josh
Browns.
Cribbs. He's very strictly a Bills one, but I love me some Roscoe Parrish.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
The Sco.
The SCO.
Greg
um,
A has that jersey now.
Mario Bates was a Panther, I think.
Mhm.
Mario Bates was a great kick returner for us.
Pac-Man Jones returned punts.
Sure.
Did he?
Yeah.
He also wore
Pac-Man.
medallions.
He also fought in TNA.
Yeah, that's right.
Uh,
Brought his. No, he didn't.
He was there.
managed.
He
Yeah.
was there.
managed.
He wasn't
He-
allowed to.
He was
It was when he was
there.
suspended, right?
He was there.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
Yeah.
All right. So mediocrity loves company. The Bears.
I don't think the Bears are that mediocre. I know, like,
The Bears lose this one again.
No, but
Like-
they're playing tough.
they're playing tough. They're a lot of fun. Justin Fields,
Yep.
I'm sorry. You're fun to watch. You're not the guy.
No,
You're not
you
the
don't
guy
think
that-
so?
There's no way
You
they're
don't want to
giving
see
up
any
on
more?
him.
You think you're done
No,
with
I
it?
want to. Well, it's what do you want? Like, do you want an entertaining game? Do you want a marketable quarterback? or do you want to win football games?
Yeah.
And I'm
right.
not saying one is better than the other, legitimately. Like Justin Fields is fun. I like watching the Bears play the game of football. But if
Mhm.
winning is important, which I'm
Mhm.
told it is, you gotta dump him. He's not going to get you.
They're not
even
dumping
to the
him. There's
playoffs.
no way.
He's not using the tools that they're giving him, which is also a little alarming. Like they got
Yeah.
Chase Claypool, and he's not stretching the field. He's
Yeah,
just doing what he
right.
always does, which is not good. You know.
Look at the list of Bears quarterbacks.
Oh shit.
Tell me when the last time the Bears had a good quarterback.
Sexy Rexy.
Sid Luckman in the
Oh.
50s. like honestly, Sexy Rexy. He got
Like-
into the Super Bowl.
Rex
No, he
Russell
didn't.
was
Kyle Orton did.
Oh,
They
was it
benched
Kyle
him
Orton?
for
Oh, yeah.
Sexy Rexy.
Sexy Rexy was in the Super Bowl. He started the Super Bowl.
Right, but Kyle Orton had won like the last
Yeah.
10 games in that season, including the playoff games.
The Kyle Orton line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't
The Orton line.
the Orton
It
line
might
was
still
very
run
high.
through Chicago if I'm not
Yeah.
lying.
They have had so many bad quarterbacks. It's insane.
Yeah.
Jay
It's insane.
Cutler.
Jay
Oh,
Cutler.
Smoking Jay.
Was he good?
He was
Oh, he was apathetic.
Was he good?
ranked- On this list, he's ranked number 1. His record is 51-51.
Okay, so that's good in Bears talk.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
You're going all the way back to Jim McMahon if you're talking about a
Even
good
Jim McMahon.
quarterback.
Jim McMahon, 46
Even
and
he-
15 was his record.
He
Even he
mastered
was weird.
the art of just handing the ball off. That's
Yeah.
all he ever did was just this motion.
But didn't he throw for like 5,000 yards at BYU? Like he was a thrower.
Probably, yeah. But BYU.
This.
He also had to deal with like Mongo. Think about that.
Mongo. Oh, poor
Oh,
Mongo.
poor
Poor Mongo.
Mongo.
Don't make
Yeah,
us
poor
sad.
Mongo.
That is
Mediocrity.
sad. I love that guy.
I love that
Yeah,
fucking
you
guy.
were a big Mongo fan.
I
on the
love
WCW
Mongo. He's,
podcast.
I mean, he was a
And
shit
his
wrestler,
little-
but he was a
his-
lot of
his-
fun.
His little chia dog, whatever
Right,
that
right.
was.
I remember
Little
Greg
dog.
getting very anxious every time Mongo got to talk in an interview.
Here comes Mongo. Raiders beat the Broncos.
Oh, who cares?
Mediocrity loves
wow.
company.
Talk
In
about
overtime.
shit.
Oh God, so
Talk
so
about
frustrating.
Shit. I shared it with again. I'm going to call Twitter out. I shared the tweet with the
Yes.
Pod and Long Twitter, which if
Yes.
you're not
This is
following, you should follow.
absolutely incredible clip. This
A guy
just-
started a bit at the
This is
beginning of the
great.
season
This is great.
saying which is at the end of the season, which is going to be more, the amount of bathrooms that Russell Wilson has in his home, which is 12, or the number of touchdowns that Russell Wilson throws at the end of the year. Obviously a funny bit,
Yeah.
except it's week 11
Yep.
and Russell Wilson still has 5 more bathrooms than he does touchdowns.
Oh my God.
He has 12 bathrooms. He has 12 bathrooms and 7 touchdowns.
Oh my God. That
And
one game, Tua threw half the bathrooms.
Yeah.
The funniest thing about the video is when he goes to he's like, well, that's the amount of touchdowns, and as I'm being told, like they haven't expanded their bathroom. Like there's still only 12.
Right,
The
still
house-
only 12
The
bathrooms.
house
Yeah.
lets me know there's still only 12. And then
Oh
the
my God.
person who retweeted it that you retweeted also loved that, where it's like, hey, this guy thought he was only going to do this bit for 5 weeks, and he's still doing. He's still going.
Still going.
Oh my
He's
God.
still going.
Headed into week 12.
Wow, Russell Wilson. I mean, so? I know we sort of talked about this a little bit, but Geno's looking good, and I'm not going to rehash is it Pete Carroll or not?
Right. Fuck him.
But to the converse, is this Billy Hackett? What's his name?
Nathaniel
Can't-
Hackett.
Is
Can't
this
hack it.
Nathaniel Hackett?
Yeah, I get.
The exact same thing. Geno Smith was shit. He was
Yep.
basically out of the league, and now he looks pretty fucking good.
Right.
So, I mean, it's coaching. Is it just coaching? Can
It could be.
And I say any, but could any qualified individual be a good quarterback in the right system?
I think a head coach can definitely sabotage his players. It's a very common thing to see. I think Russell Wilson, I mean, I think that's why he gets another year. Obviously, he gets another year because, the Broncos obviously are going to shit can Hackett either halfway through this, maybe at the end of this week or at the end of the season. So they're going to try to get somebody who can, maybe Russell will pitch in his idea of who he wants to work with. And then after a couple of games in the next season, if it's still the same, it's Russell. It has nothing to do with the coach.
Yeah. I mean, Russell Wilson also looked shitty.
Yeah, he did.
He just looks bad.
But I'll tell you, man, like I've seen plenty of coaches like bring down the talent of their team because of their ineptitude. Spoiler, by the way, football FUBAR coming up. That's going to be related to what we're talking about.
That's
shit.
great. Who
Shit.
what was Russell Wilson's injury last year?
Hand,
His hand?
I believe.
Well,
it's
fuck.
hand.
There goes his. I assumed it was his legs because the guy is a statue now.
Nope.
It's his hand. I'm pretty sure.
Listen, these
He's
legs don't
throwing
run,
hand.
man.
Let's ride. All right, moving on. Snowmageddon. The Bills can't play a home game. They go to Detroit and play the Browns and do what you've been asking for
Yeah.
them to do
How
for
about that?
Oh my God,
weeks.
right.
How
They
about
run
it?
the ball.
And it worked really well. How about
Super
that?
good. Yeah.
Their defense
weird.
played well. They stopped Nick Chubb. Browns
which
couldn't
was-
do anything, and they ran the ball all over the place.
Yeah, impressive because they were also down 5 Pro Bowlers again on defense, and they still managed to stop Nick Chubb. James Cook had 7.9 yards per carry. and
Why are
Devin
they not
Singletary
using
had
this guy?
4.9 yards per carry. You can use that guy too. Fine, use them both. I would hope moving forward, that's the plan: is get them both 10 yards or 10 carries per game each. Devin got like 15, and just let them. Because I mean, you saw. I mean, watching Josh Allen throw, he still has problems with that arm. He was
Yeah.
throwing it and wincing. Like you got to establish a run game here. So, by the way, though, I'm going to point this out. So the Browns were like middle of the road for run defense, right? Not bad, not great, middle of the road. So
They have a-
running
they
over
have
them,
an
that's
okay
fine,
defense.
right? Running over them, fine. It's impressive. Now the Lions, who the Bills play this week, have the 3rd worst run defense. So you know what time it is? It's Josh Allen time to throw 70 times a game.
Oh god.
We got our one game in where we ran the ball. Time to make Josh on national TV break his arm. So
Oh boy.
Please
That
no.
was an important win for the Bills.
they needed to get off the schneid.
Yeah,
and get
that it was a tough situation to have to travel.
Yeah, 77.
do-
I lived in Orchard Park. 77 inches would have been by far the worst storm I was ever a part of.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I think the most we've ever got in this area is like 4 feet.
Yeah. When
And that's only happened like once in the last like 50 years.
There was like a 5-foot storm when I lived in Buffalo, but other than that, it was just more like 4-foot storms, which still sucked, but it's still better than 7 feet. I don't even know where you put that.
You got to truck it away. All right. New category. What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Whoa, wait.
Saints and Rams.
Oh,
Matthew Stafford played in this game. The Rams lost handily. The Saints beat the crap out of him. The week before, Andy Dalton looked like regular Andy Dalton. He looked terrible, like he had a bad haircut again. This time he throws 3 touchdowns. He looks great.
Red
Matthew
Rifle.
Stafford, terrible. No Cooper Cup. What happened? What is going on?
Are the Rams the most inconsequential Super Bowl winner of all time?
Yes, they are. I
They're
can't
way
think
up
of
there,
anybody
that's for
else.
sure.
I
Yeah.
cannot think of another team.
Well, the good news
Like-
is they have a lot of draft picks to
No, they don't.
No, they have nothing. They have
No, they don't.
absolutely nothing. They don't have draft.
No, they
they
don't.
don't have a first rounder for 4 years.
Yeah, they're in trouble. They're gonna Lakers themselves.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, LA
Like,
loves a team that's pretty shit, but
Yeah.
Sure
is fun.
I love LA. America's team, the Detroit Lions
Yeah.
defeat the New York Giants by running the ball and stopping the run, which they're, like you said, their run defense is not good.
Yeah,
They stopped Saquon Barkley.
amazing. Yep.
They've
And
won 3 games in a row. Dan
Yeah.
Campbell not getting fired.
Eating,
No,
just
for sure.
biting kneecaps, baby.
Yeah.
That's
I love
great.
it.
Yeah,
I like-
no, I do too.
I love this Lions team. They're scrappy.
not
They
good.
trade away their best player and they're
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, that's right.
I
He
like
was
how-
holding him back.
Yeah. Get
somebody-
out of here, Hawk and Smacker. You're
Yeah.
done.
Whatever your name is. I like how
Get out here, nerd.
somebody pointed out Dan Campbell's press conferences. Was that Drew? His press conferences are always just deflecting he doesn't talk
Yeah,
about
right.
football. He just talks.
Yeah.
It was Drew. It was
Whatever's
like, oh
happening.
yeah, the weather this week. Oh my god, you have hot dogs before you put hot ketchup or hot or mustard on those. Like, can you talk about the game, my guy?
Nope.
Nope. No, I can't. They
Aiden
won, though.
Hutchinson super good.
Oh my god,
When
he's
he
amazing. Yeah.
legitimately like suplexed the dude down to the
Oh,
ground.
yeah.
I was like, okay, wow.
He is coming on too. Like he is
Yeah.
this is where he needs to be. So
I didn't realize how big he is. He's 6'7".
Oh yeah.
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 He's a big boy.
The problem with him, and it's kind of the problem with the Lions, is there's nobody else in that on that D line
Yeah,
you want to like
right.
factor for.
Right.
So like teams just like triple team his ass.
Giants with a tough loss here. That's a tough loss for them.
I mean, we talked about it last week. Like they're 7-2, but or whatever. Yeah, 7-2. Like, but were
Wait,
they?
oh, you mean
like
This was
the game they spent 3 hours trying to lose? And then
Right,
they
yeah,
won anyway.
right?
this was
Yeah.
a very revealing week for New York teams.
Yeah.
Oh, it
Yeah.
sure was. The
Yeah.
ballad of the 2022 Carolina Panthers rolls on, baby. With Baker Mayfield, who was asked in multiple press conferences, do you have any idea why your passes continue to be batted at the line? That's not really a problem. Oh, well, it is in this game.
Yeah.
Batted for a pick six, I think, or not a pick six. Batted for an interception. Batted early in the game. The Ravens. Shout out to the Panthers defense. Shout
Yeah.
out to Steve Wilkes. They held
Yeah.
Lamar in check till he had the one score, and that was all they needed.
Yep.
Panthers offense is absolutely hideous when
But
Baker
that defense, though, like I said, there's talent there. There really is. I think there's but under like they have a nice mix of veterans with like Shaq Thompson is there, and I was watching some highlights. He looked good, and the corners are solid. So there's
Yeah.
something to work with there.
There's things to work with. Baker Mayfield, let's talk. He's not going to be a Panther, obviously.
Yeah, right.
Is he going to be anywhere? in the
Anywhere.
NFL?
Someone will take him. Are you kidding me? Someone will. Texans.
Yeah, he could be a backup somewhere.
He's not starting.
If he winds up with
No.
the Texans, could you imagine?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Like that's a perfect spot for him.
Why did they just trade him to the Texans in the first place?
Yeah.
I was wondering that myself, and I was a defender of Mayfield, and then he comes to
Yeah.
my team and he's just awful.
So this week, Sam Darnold's playing. I heard
Are
starting.
you serious? They're
Yeah.
they're doing it.
Right.
I think this is a mistake. They need to keep losing. Play Mayfield. What
Oh.
are you doing?
So the ESPN has a playoff simulator now where you can pick the results of each game. And then at the end, it shows you who the 1-7 seed based on the picks of the remaining games are, right? So I'm like, all right, let me give this a shot. So I simulated all the games, and I'm sorry, Ryan, I had the Panthers winning 6 games, and they pick 8th in the draft. So
No.
well out of position but I had
That's
them
not
winning.
good.
I looked at some of the games, like I kind of like because of the defense. I'm like, I kind of think they're going to take this game.
So I'm looking at teams winning now. Other teams, I'm rooting like I love that the Lions won. That's great
Right.
because they're gonna pick somebody for Goff. Like they're not going into next season with Goff. I don't think
No.
unless they keep winning, I guess. But I'm also like, okay, Browns. Obviously, they can keep losing. They're gonna have
Right.
Watson. They're not gonna draft a quarterback. That's what I'm at right now. That's where I'm
Yeah.
at. Like, who can lose and who can't?
That's it. Your problem is the Texans. That's what you got to worry about
It's
right
fine. Texans can be the number one pick.
there. You
and
just think
pick
they're going to
Bryce
take Young. Yeah. Okay.
Just give me like 2 or 3.
There
Give me
you
a
go.
quarterback, please. All right. Taylor Heineke, the Taylor Heineke category.
Love him.
This
My
guy-
man.
He goes out and beats the Texans. He's just beloved.
Yeah.
The Commanders are 6-5.
I like
Which-
that.
Is insane because they're in last place in the NFC East.
Yeah.
If they were in any other division except for the Vikings, they would be in first.
Wow.
Wow.
They would be a first place team.
I love. Oh man. I just love his enthusiasm. Like everything excites that man, which is just
Yes.
beautiful. You know. And I like Ron Rivera. Like I feel like they have obviously shitty ownership, but like I feel like the people there seem to be good humans. So we're just stuck in a bad situation. So
Except for
Yeah.
Jack Del Rio.
Yeah.
oh yeah, well,
Fuck that.
fuck him.
Right. That guy sucks. Okay. Last 2 games of the week. Category. You blew it. The Colts. What are you doing? You blew it against the Eagles. You could have won this one.
The fight in Jeff Saturdays almost took it off. Almost won.
Yikes.
That would have
Jeff
just been
Saturdays.
fucking
Oh
awesome.
my god.
The Jeff Saturdays don't win.
Mm-hmm.
They had a chance to win. They gave it to Matt Ryan, and he blew it.
Oh, he sure did.
And the
Yep.
Eagles win.
Not totally impressed with the Eagles, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
what seemed to be like a slam dunk 2 weeks ago was like this team's definitely making, they're the NFC team out of the playoffs. No.
Did
don't
you
see it
notice?
now.
Did you notice this Eagles coach was like super fired up for this game because he was
Yeah.
mad that Frank Reich got fired? Did you see this?
Oh, because he was Reich's coordinator?
He was under Reich
Uh,
at some point, and he was pissed that Reich had been fired. And he even after the game got up on the bench and yelled at Colts fans like "fuck you" when they won.
How
He
about you
was so
hire
fired
him
up.
then, you dumbass? like you have the ability to hire this man and give him a job. Like it's not like he's, kicked out of the NFL for good.
He was fired up. He wanted to beat the Colts real bad.
There's something becoming unlikable about the Eagles. I don't know. They're kind of getting on my nerves a little bit.
Agreed. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is either.
Do
Yeah.
not like watching them play football.
Yeah, right.
All right, one more. Let's finish it out with the Patriots. You blew it, Jets.
Wow.
What a
What?
game.
An
What a
incredible
fuck up.
meltdown.
Holy shit. This whole
What a
game
meltdown.
set football back decades.
Stunk. Yeah,
Like,
flat
it
out
was-
stunk. What did you say?
Yeah,
They're
best
giving
game
out
in 1948.
more
I've ever seen.
bonds and
Yeah,
more punts. What was the
yeah, right. Thought Belichick was going to come out at halftime and sell me war bonds because of how old fashioned this game was.
There were 17 punts in that game.
My God.
punts?
So you know how the NFL does like player of the week and they give it to an offensive player, a defense. Does one of these punters win it for the
Yeah,
AFC?
maybe.
Just because you punted like 17 or 10 times, 11 times, whatever it
The
was.
Patriots punter. Congratulations to you.
Yeah,
You won
right.
it.
You did a lot of work.
Well, the Patriots won on a punt return
Ugh.
touchdown for the win.
5 seconds left.
Mac Jones was fucking god awful in this game. He was not good. Zach Wilson
Oh,
was
man.
even worse. The New
Oh,
York
boy,
Jets
Zach
offense.
Wilson.
Yeah.
What an idiot.
That
the
clock
New-
is ticking on Zach. It's
The
close
New
to
York Jets
midnight, buddy.
offense gained 2 yards in the second half. 2 yards. That's it.
It's not looking honestly. Zach Wilson at this point, he better show you something in the next couple of games. Because if you're a Jets fan,
He's not starting the next game.
I feel like he should. I feel like you want him to start because the last thing you want is to go into next season and have a group of fans or a group of coaches or anybody, media say like, well, maybe if you had more time, you got to develop him. You didn't develop him. And then you're stuck in this weird nexus area of like, is he good? Is he not? If you just let him play the next couple of games and he shits the bed every single time, at least at least then you can go like, listen, we got to get in a veteran. This guy's not going to happen. So there's something.
Every fucking week, I'm surprised that he's from BYU. Who said that was okay?
You want to know
you
the
should've
stat
known.
line? Did you see the stat line?
Yes.
Oh,
Nine
for that game?
9 for 22, 77 yards passing for a game, an entire game. He didn't
Ugh.
get benched.
And
He
listen,
didn't get injured. He had a QBR of 24.5.
and Belichick is good at fucking with young quarterbacks. He's very, very good at that. But Zach Wilson should not have been this bad. Like he got no help, absolutely none on his offense.
Here's how you know QBR is a flawed stat that ESPN made, right? They came up with a
Their
stat.
makeup one, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Mac Jones was 23 of 27 for 246 yards. His QBR was 20.4. How is it less? How is it less? Can you play any worse than Zach Wilson did? What are you doing, ESPN? Jesus Christ. All right. Anyway.
I think it's funny with Mac Jones that you never have to worry about him making a big play.
No.
It's
Yeah,
He's
right.
not scary at all. I also think it's
like
funny.
you have to be aware of him as a quarterback, but you never have to worry about like that deep
Right.
bomb ever
No.
or him taking off or
I find this also hilarious. The Patriots fans are complaining about Mac Jones and you had Tom Brady for like 20,
yeah.
30 years, however
Patriot
long it
fans are
was.
spoiled.
Like
Right, they're spoiled.
the rest of us
Yeah.
of us have had bad quarterbacks for years.
I have Ryan fucking Tannehill.
Calm down. Yeah, I have Baker Mayfield or Sam Darnold or PJ Walker or whoever else. I have to cheer for those guys.
Carolina drafted a quarterback in the second round.
Yeah, he's
Where's that
hurt.
fucking guy?
He can't play for the rest of the year.
Oh, that's right. I
No.
forgot about it was
No.
Coral, right?
Matt Corral.
Corral.
Now
Yeah,
that's
Matt
a
Corral.
name that I would Think quarterback.
Matt
Yeah,
Corral.
That's the name of a third string quarterback somewhere in Madden.
Yeah, sure. It's gonna be his whole career. Anyway, Zach Wilson played like shit. Then he got
Yeah.
interviewed after the game.
Oh,
And
that
it
was
got worse.
bad. That was horrible. Shut up, man. Like just you can't be saying that shit. Ugh.
They asked him if
He
felt
strikes me as a man who has been copped.
Yeah.
by 50 plus.
That's why he goes after them.
Oh, is that why?
He
No,
was cucked.
it's just like I bet you if we look up this kid's like upbringing,
He
I
went to
bet you it's
BYU.
real
It's
fucking
flawed.
fancy.
You go to BYU.
Oh yeah, no, it
you got a
definitely
flawed
is.
background.
Yeah. It's you know what though, like that was so in line with what Aaron Rodgers says, where it's everybody's fault other than his.
Yeah.
You know, and that's so aggravating.
He said that they asked him if there was any responsibility or any culpability or if he felt bad about it, and he said no.
Yeah, he's like, did you feel like you left your defense down?
Yeah.
I said
No. Straight
Fuck
up
off.
no.
Yeah.
Straight up no, which is ridiculous. And I saw Mark Sanchez was interviewed several times, and he said, "Look, I wasn't that good of a quarterback, but like you can't do that.
Yeah,
You can't
right.
do that." Even Mark Sanchez was like, "Look, if I lost and I played bad, I would say, look, it's on me, guys. I got to look in the mirror at myself.
just-
like,
it's
I
so-
can't- you can't do that."
It's so weird. Why, like, you get like Aaron Rodgers is a dick. That's why he says what he says, and Tom Brady's a dick. That's why he says what he says. If you're a young quarterback, self-deprecation is probably like the best thing you can do. You know, when you're not doing that great, because that shows humility. That like endears yourself to your teammates after a rough game. Like, what's the benefit of him acting
Why-
like this?
Yeah, why do you not go out and be like, those guys play their ass off?
Yeah,
We let
and
them down."
I blew it. It was just my
look
fault.
Just
Yeah.
look at Josh Allen in a game
Yeah,
that he
right, yeah.
played his ass off. He went into the press conference and said, "It was me. It was
Mhm.
nobody else but me. It was on me. I screwed
It's
this up."
And there's no, like I said, no negative connotation in doing that. That's what I don't get.
Yeah, right.
It's fine.
All right, let's go to our segments. That's all the week's games. Let's go to our segments, starting with broadcasting moments of the week. Oh boy. We talked about Brandon Staley a little bit here. We talked about him. He played a pretty good game, right?
I like that. The best thing we can say about him is he didn't purposely lose for his
He
team
didn't
again.
purposely
He didn't
lose the game,
sabotage
right?
his own squad.
He did not sabotage his own squad this
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
During that game, let me look this up real quick because I want to get the guy's name right. Our guy, Chris Collinsworth. Here's a guy who
Here's a guy.
he started talking about his meeting because they love doing this. They love talking about their meetings with the coach the night before and how they're going to get the inside scoop and blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure who the backup tight end is for the Chargers.
Oh God.
But he started talking about how the tight end's out, and is it Stone Smart who's the backup tight end? I'm not sure. Collinsworth's like, "Oh yeah, Staley's talking about the backup tight end and blah blah blah, and they need to get him more touches and da da da." And then I said to him, "You're the coach. Why don't you get him more touches?" Which I thought was just a perfect snapshot of why this guy sucks.
Oh my
I'm
God.
like, "Oh, we need to get this guy more touches. We don't know why he hasn't been so productive." And he's like, "You're the fucking coach. Put him out there."
Yeah. How is this division? Andy Reid and three idiots. Like, I mean, it's unfair almost.
Oh, Brandon Staley, Collinsworth just annihilated this guy without,
Yeah.
I don't think trying to, but he did. And this is a little fun little bit that I saw. German reporters interviewed Pete Carroll before their game with the Patriots last week. And they asked him about USC and losing to Vince Young.
Love that.
They're like, "So what have you learned from Texas?" And he's like, "Really? You're bringing that up now? Really?" I love it. I love
Good.
it. What have you learned about Vince Young in Texas? Like 20 years later? So your worst loss of all time. Let's
Yeah.
ask him about that.
Wow, that's boy,
I like it. I like how petty it is. Yeah.
Germans. You win.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jerry's, for doing that.
Thank you, Germany.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed one. One more. Henry Winkler. Did you see this?
No.
Henry
Fonz?
Winkler, the Fonz, was the guest of Patrick Mahomes at the Chiefs game
Oh, I like
in
that.
Los
I like that
Angeles.
too.
Oh,
He went-
fun.
Hung
Yeah,
out with
what's
his
that about?
family in the box, went on the field. There's a whole like little back and forth between them. He's a huge Patrick Mahomes fan
Okay.
and got invited to the game by Pat, hung out with Pat's family, which
You know, I
there's some
bet
weirdos
though,
in that family.
oh yeah, but I bet like that age group recognized him from like The Waterboy. You know, like that was probably
Yeah.
a movie that a lot of the football players have seen. So
Sure. I mean, he's still doing it, right? Isn't
Yeah,
he in
right?
Barry?
He's on he's on a yeah, yeah.
He's in Barry, right? He's still doing great work. But Henry Winkler getting a customized Chiefs Winkler jersey handed to him by Pat Mahomes. You gotta love it. You gotta
That's
love
awesome.
it. All right, time for Greg's bets.
Yeah. First, before we
Ambien
go,
or not Ambien?
we'll get there. Zach Wilson's family, super rich and
course.
apparently pretty
Sure.
shitty.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Yeah.
We've learned some things.
Also,
about
I
the fam-
found a write up on his father, which has to be written by his mom.
Sure.
Under his height, the column, the paragraph says Mike Wilson's hunky physique and a height of 6'3" made him a
Okay.
formidable player in the Utah Valley University.
Ooh.
Can you imagine like Utah Valley A&M playing? It's like, oh, check out that hunk.
Look at
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Better run around that guy.
You think he's sexier than Jimmy Garoppolo?
No one's sexier than Jimmy G.
Yeah.
What part of no one aren't you understanding, Brian?
Who's the opposite of Jimmy G? Is it Lamar? Lamar's pretty ugly.
Lamar is not an attractive man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't know.
Poor Lamar.
Yeah. He's
Tom Brady,
Ugliest quarterback
fucking
ranking?
Chris-
if Andrew Luck was still playing, he was pretty ugly.
Andrew Luck was ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Boy,
bad.
he sure was.
But he
He
had
was
that.
just
He's
he
bad.
just didn't look like a man. Like it's crazy. You know, like I don't
Yeah.
mean that as an insult. It was just
No, I
like
know.
even at 25, he still looked like a boy.
Mhm.
All right, that's what you actually came here for.
Yeah, bets. Not,
So
not
here
ugliest
is
quarterback.
the deal. I actually forgot to make the bets that I said last week.
Oh, good for you. Good.
We'll see. So I did in fact make ambient bets where I tried to remember what I had bet on
Yeah.
the
This
podcast.
is just a podcast by itself. I
Yeah.
try to remember stuff.
Yeah.
That would have been a
On
great
Ambien.
podcast.
So
Hi, this is
if-
Greg with I try to remember stuff on
I
Ambien
try
on
to remember stuff on
NPR.
ambient.com coming
On
this summer.
NPR.
I can be an NPR guy.
Brought to you by stamps.com.
If I had actually bet the
Mhm.
bets I said, I would have gotten 2.5 right.
Okay. All right. So probably a good thing you didn't. bet.
When you made the list last week, you said, "Oh God, these are
It was
bad."
rough.
Yeah,
It
you
was
weren't
rough.
feeling them. You weren't feeling
Yeah.
them.
So the list I actually had was the Rams +4. They lost. I had Washington -3.5.
Mhm.
They won that. That's
Yep.
easy. I had Chicago +3. That was the tie. They lost by 3. I had Dallas -1. Easy peasy. And then I
Wow.
had KC -6.5, which I didn't hit.
Yeah.
So I would have gotten 2.5, but ambient bets 3.5.
Oh, nice. Choo choo.
What did you think happened in Greg's
Yeah.
bets?
So I did actually bet Washington, so
Yeah.
that worked out.
Nice.
I still remembered Chicago, so that's a half.
Mhm.
You know, I got my money back. And then I bet Carolina +12.5. That paid out.
Yep.
Okay.
I bet Cincinnati -3.5. That paid out. And I took the Giants -3. Obviously, that did
Yeah,
not pay
no.
out. Though it was close. And in fact, I had an
Mm.
opportunity to cash out that bet, positive money.
Really?
I bet 5, and at one point I could have cashed it out for 650, and I was like, "Nah, I'm going to win this."
Let it
easy."
ride.
Yep. So ambient bets 3.5, real world bets 2.5
All right. What do you got for week?
for
12.
week 3. Now again, this week was the opposite of last week. Last week was very, very hard. This week there was easily
Yeah.
10 games you could bet.
Real
Okay.
weird. I saw it this morning. Real
Yeah.
strange.
So I still went with some weird ones, but we'll
Okay.
see. I picked Carolina Minus 2.5, I believe. It says I have it written here plus 2.5,
Against
but
Denver.
I
You're
have
picking
literally
Carolina
no
against
chance.
Denver?
This is the one I immediately noticed, and I said I'm definitely putting it on Panthers because Panthers are 2.5 plus.
Oh,
plus
please,
2.5.
please lose this game.
They are unfortunately at Denver, but also Denver sucks.
No, they're home. They're home.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
Yeah.
They're home. That's important.
Not that that matters,
No,
but
it
No,
matters.
they're
but
playing
Denver
Denver.
going
Carolina's
West Coast to East Coast.
notorious home field advantage. You know,
They
It's like
did.
Kansas City.
They used to have a great home field advantage when they were a good team.
Yeah.
I took Baltimore -4 against Jacksonville.
Okay. Yep. That's a good.
I think Baltimore's pretty bad, but I think they're going to bounce back, and I think Jacksonville doesn't have what it takes to stop them. Seattle -3.5 over Las Vegas.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was a good fucking team.
Yeah. Right.
That's
3.5. Are you
Yeah.
kidding?
They're 3.5 at home
Oh my God.
against Las
They're
Vegas.
gonna they're gonna win that game by 10 points.
Yeah. This was a tough one, but I feel good about it. I took Philadelphia -7 against Green Bay.
Okay.
Green Bay sucks, and they're in Philly on, I believe, a Sunday night game. And I don't know what this is. Part of it's my upbringing, just because I have a lot of good memories of Thanksgiving in Philadelphia. But Philly is a Thanksgiving team to me.
Yeah.
They're not going to lose in prime time the weekend of Thanksgiving.
I always remember them playing the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Like they were a very
Yeah.
common opponent for them, it seemed.
And then last one, it's a fucking boy. Washington -4 over Atlanta.
Wait,
Right.
Taylor Heineke, our other boy. I thought you were talking about Mike McDaniel for a second.
No.
They play like the
The
Texans.
Dolphins are -12.5
Yeah.
against whoever the fuck they're playing.
Texans.
The
The
Titans.
Texans. Yeah, I can't.
That's an ambient bet. You got
That
to
is
keep
an ambient
keep,
bet.
keep
Yeah,
that
right,
in your-
right.
keep
Next
that in-
week.
keep that in your crosshairs.
So yeah, Carolina, Baltimore, Seattle, Philadelphia, and Washington.
Good picks.
Carolina.
No, that was the first one, Ryan, I saw, and I'm like, I'm putting money on Carolina on that one. That 2.5
Sam
against the
Darnold.
Broncos. Yeah, but but like now he's got a chance to prove it. There's a lot to like there.
Sam Darnold had 4 good games last year.
Yeah,
Against
right.
the 4 worst teams in the NFL.
That's all right.
Well,
What about the
fucking
Broncos?
The Broncos,
Yeah,
man.
right.
Have you
Oh,
seen them?
God.
They literally waived their leading rusher this week.
Yeah, right.
For fumbling.
Yeah.
Nathaniel Hackett is going to make the trip without any luggage. Like he's just going to forget it all at the airport.
Oh shit, we forgot our jerseys.
Oh, no.
Oh my god. Helmets?
Gosh.
We need those?
What do we do?
Should we have brought those helmets?
Just calls up the owner. Don't get mad. Don't get mad. Don't get mad.
I didn't take any Thanksgiving Day games. I will probably bet them, but I didn't like it. The lines. I didn't like the lines,
Yeah, right.
not the Lions. I didn't like the lines, so I'm curious how they shift over the course of the week.
Yeah.
I will say it is very difficult to make these bets on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. The
like, there
lines
have been-
move real, depending on injuries, they'll move.
Yes. Like there have been some times this year where I've made my bets on Tuesday, and by Friday I would have made a completely different bet. So there you go.
Okay, it's time for football FUBAR.
All right. So
Who's going
Let's
in the FUBAR Hall of Fame this week?
I hinted at it earlier, and we've talked about a couple of head coaches, and some coaches have already been fired this year. Matt Rule has been fired. Reich has been fired. There are coaches who are going to get fired at the end of the year. Like you're definitely going to lose Hackett.
Hackett.
Staley's probably gone if they don't make the playoffs. Kingsbury might be gone. McDaniels probably stays because they can't afford to fire him. But like guys who they shouldn't be in the position they're in, and you got to wonder, like, how did they con somebody into becoming the head coach of a team? It
Okay.
just seems a little like outrageous that they got to this part, and you can't imagine that happens very often, let alone twice in somebody's career. But gentlemen, pop them peepers. We're gonna talk about Adam Gase today.
Yes.
Yay!
Yes.
Yes.
Finally.
So Gase began his coaching career in 2002 and worked his way up like you typically see. He was an assistant coach somewhere, and then he worked his way up, and eventually he became the offensive coordinator for the Denver Broncos in 2013, which you all remember was a fucking juggernaut. That was under John Fox, and they just blew people out of the water. And clearly, that was all Adam Gase in his game planning, in his scheming, in all of his couldn't have been Peyton Manning as the quarterback. It was all Adam
Peyton
Gase.
Manning. Demarius Thomas.
Yeah.
Wes Welker.
Emmanuel Sanders.
Daniel
Like,
Sanders.
and here's a weird thing though.
Who was the tight end? They had a great tight end too.
Oh, you're right. Thomas.
Thomas.
Yeah, right.
Who was the running back? They had a good running back too. Didn't
They were just loaded. They were in their
were
offensive line.
Clinton
absolute-
Portis.
Clinton Portis.
absolutely loaded.
And the weird thing was though, Gase got a shit ton of credit for that offense. And I don't
Yes.
to this, even when it happened, I wasn't understanding why he was getting head coaching jobs because it's Peyton fucking Manning. Like
He's a
you know,
head coach on the
Right.
field.
right. So Gase eventually, Fox leaves and goes to Chicago, if you guys remember. And
He was
Gase follows
fired.
him.
He was fired.
Right. And Gase follows him. So Gase goes to Chicago. And now this is it. They said, like, you know what? Peyton Manning changed 80% of the plays when he was quarterback, right? 80% of those he audibled out of. Okay. So Gase, it's your call. You're gonna be in charge of this offense, and it's time for Adam Gase to shine straight to the 23rd overall offense
With Jay Cutler.
of that league. Yeah, 23rd. But that was apparently good enough for the Dolphins to hire him, where he spent 3 middling years with the Dolphins, going 23 and 25th, and seeing his offense go from 17th in his first year to 27th in his second to 29th in his third. So not good. Not
He
good.
was a absolute failure.
Yeah.
In Miami.
Gase fired him. Or Gase fired him. The Dolphins got fired. The Dolphins
Right.
fired him.
They
right?
fired him because he sucked.
Players loved it. Loved that he was gone because all of them, if you noticed, a lot of those guys, including Tannehill, went on to actually be a little bit more productive without Gase. So they were all very happy that he was gone. And you can't imagine, okay, who would want to accept this type of mediocrity as a head coach again? He's got to go back to like being an assistant coach. Hello, Jets. Come on in. Because the Jets hired him. And oh my God. So in 2019, everyone remembers the press conference where his eyes were bugging out. And it looked like he
Yes!
was completely
He was on
losing
coke.
his shit. Yep. He says that's the way he deals with the media to make them unsettled. I read this.
What
Once-
does that mean?
Once again,
In-
why?
in an introductory press conference
Right.
where you're fine?
He's got to have. You can't outgase the Gase. He's got to be in your head, guys. He's got to get in your head.
What an idiot.
He was very much an idiot. But there's, that's what everyone remembers, but there's so much more. Okay. And when I did some research into this, I found a lot of good stories. So just run them down real quick. So right after he was hired with the Jets, he had a power struggle with the GM and eventually got the owner to fire the GM 3 days after the 2019 draft and then promptly cut a lot of those draft picks that the GM just made. So he's basically just like cutting his own players.
Yeah, he got total control.
Yeah, right. And said like, oh, I don't need the guys that you drafted. Let me cut this 4th rounder, 5th rounder, and 6th rounder. Fucking idiot. This I'd never heard of. So his defensive coordinator was Greg Williams, who will be a future football inductee in his own right. So there was like an assistant coach position, like assistant linebacker or something. I don't know. I forgot exactly what it was, right? And Greg Williams said, listen, I got a son. He was with me in New Orleans. He can do assistant stuff. He's probably not ready for like a full position coach, but maybe he could do this with me, right? And Gase said, fuck no, we don't do that nepotism around here. The next day, Gase hired his father-in-law for the same position.
Jesus.
So already off to a horrible start with his own coach. He got into a verbal spat with Curb Your Enthusiasm and longtime suffering Jets fan Larry David on a New York radio station who was criticizing the team.
Was that was during the time where Larry David would go on shows and say, I could be an offensive coordinator.
Right. And like Gase took offense to that, like didn't understand the joke. And
What a ridiculous thing.
oh my God. His Jets teams would often win games they had no business of winning and would actually cost them draft position. Like when in 2020, where they actually won their last 2 games, totally meaningless, and took them out of the Trevor Lawrence sweepstake. And instead they drafted Zach Wilson, who we just talked about today.
Oh,
So,
Gase, you fucker.
His handling of Sam Darnold, everyone remembers that. From start to finish, it's totally sabotaged.
I blame him. I blame him for screwing my team over.
Yeah.
Like Adam Gase is so bad. We'll just trade 1 million picks for him.
I didn't realize he tried to get Darnold to go back in when he had mono. Like I had no idea.
Oh my
that
God,
he tried
no,
to force
that's
him back in.
Very bad.
Yeah,
Right.
Right.
And like basically his own players were filing NFLPA complaints because he was doing that regularly. He was trying to get these guys with injuries to get back in the game and calling them weak and not like, playing up to their level of standard, And then my favorite. So his last year, he starts 0-3. Okay. has a famous press conference in front of the New York media
Oh
where he
my
says,
God.
it's time to kick the Jets into overdrive.
Oh,
The Jets lost the next 10 games in a row.
oh my God. Overdrive.
He gets fired, of course. We all know that he was mercifully fired. And he's not even nobody's wanted him for a position coach. Nobody wanted from an offensive coordinator coach. And he's just kind of out there. So I don't think he can con him anybody a third time, but a Denver reunion would be kind of fun.
Oh God. Oh God. I remember his firing being like Woody Johnson, the owner of the Jets, was like a big Trump guy and like got a bunch of shit for that. Then the Adam Gase thing happened. They fired Adam Gase. And I remember him he like left the country because it was so bad. And the owner of the team left the country.
To flee.
Like, I don't even want to be here.
Yeah.
This team sucks. Everybody hates me because I back Trump. Like, fuck this. I'm out of here. I'm going to live in England now. Fuck this. I'm out.
That seems fine. Adam Gase just ruined this man's life.
Oh, God. What a terrible coach.
Yeah.
I love that he's in there, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, long overdue, I would say. So I actually, it's funny. When I was doing this, I had him, and then I'm going to tell you who the other one I was thinking of, but I'm disqualifying him. And I'm going to put a new caveat in Football Fubar. If you have a legitimate mental health problem and it's been declared and it's been proven, I can't put you in because that's not your fault. Right. It was Johnny Manziel. I was really thinking about bringing him in until I realized he got like recently diagnosed with a whole bunch of stuff, which kind of explains away his attitude, some of the stuff he did.
Okay.
That's kind of why
I saw him on a sideline this weekend.
Really?
Yeah, like as like
maybe
a
in college
coach or something. No, it was in the NFL.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, damn it. Now I wish I could remember what it was.
I think that's why I like the Jamarcus Russell one, because like I don't feel bad about him being an idiot, because he's still to this day is pulling like a Zach Wilson, and just it's everyone's fault but Jamarcus,
which
for the
is
reason
funny.
Jamarcus failed.
I heard somebody compare their stats.
Yeah.
First 3 years of Wilson, first 3 years of Russell.
Yeah.
They're the same. They're the same stats. All right. Time for game balls. Before we get out of here, game balls. You got a game ball this week, Greg? Who are you giving a game ball to?
That running back that Zach Wilson missed the screen pass for by about 70 feet. And he gets the game ball for not killing his quarterback on the field.
Yep.
Okay.
Very nice.
Yeah.
All right, Mark.
I feel like I'm making this part of the story up. I feel like that would have been that guy's first catch.
First catch of all time.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Damn it.
Do I run forward or backward? It's been a while.
Yeah. Just throw it right out of bounds. Got it, Zach.
Yeah.
You got a game ball for me, Mark?
I'm going to give it to Squirrel Plowing in Orchard Park, New York, for getting the Bills out of that snowstorm and on the road to hopefully recovery.
I'm going to give a game ball to the Ravens. Thank you very much for continuing to get me in the top 3.
There you go.
Thank you, Ravens. CJ Stroud, he had a good game. Ohio State. I'm going to be real interested in this Michigan-Ohio State game. I'm watching that. Watching that like a hawk.
You would hate my simulation. Like I remember doing this, and I'm like, oh, Ryan's not going to like this.
No, I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
8th draft pick. Not going to like.
No, because I can't. Like everybody needs a quarterback. The quarterback, I feel like this is going to be an off-season topic. Quarterback class of right now is hideous.
Yeah.
Did you do the Orton line yet? Have you made?
I have done yes. We did the Orton line. Yes.
What is the Orton line fall at? Like 12?
It is the highest Orton line it has ever been, and it's like I think it's 14. Actually, I think it's like that's where the line is. Yeah, it averaged
half the league needs a quarterback.
We looked at it, and the average before this was like 22. And now it's
really bad.
Yeah, 14.
That's not good. So we need to keep on losing.
And here's the thing: I could have put the Orton line at 9 or 10, and I could have still had an argument going. I could have still said like those guys. I think Kyler Murray's above the Orton line. And
oh boy,
I mean, you could argue that he's
not.
Oh
boy.
my God,
All
yeah,
right.
it's bad.
It's bad.
There's
It's a
some
bad
people.
crowd.
It's like, what do you think of Russell Wilson? What do you think of Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah.
But it's
Below.
bad.
They're
Yeah.
both
Wow.
bad. Right now, they're bad. All right. Week 12 coming up. Thanksgiving week. We got a lot of football playoff implications coming up.
You know what I'm thankful for?
What are you thankful
Our listeners and our
for?
viewers.
Oh, look at you pandering to the crowd. I like it.
Because I
I
love everybody.
refuse.
Greg's not going to do that.
No.
Not doing that shit.
What are you thankful for? King Henry throwing touchdown passes. Madden
One.
Madden
Madden,
Tannehill?
Titans Madden franchise.
156.3 passer
Madden
rating.
Tannehill. I'm thankful to Baker Mayfield for losing that game. Thank you very much. Continuing to lose, guys.
Thankful for CJ Stroud looking so good.
Please. All right, that's it. We're out of here. Peace out. Go listen to other podcast, TJF podcast. New episode coming soon
Yes.
on Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, the TV movie starring Ryan Reynolds. There's
Yes.
a lot there. It's a lot different than this show, but not really. So go check it out. All right. Goodbye. Peace out, everybody. See you next
Goodbye.
week. Happy Thanksgiving.